When learning to cook, you need to understand the basic methods and principles of cookery. Those principles can then be applied to any dish from any country in the world. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the techniques, ingredients and equipment used by professional chefs globally. Understanding the methods of cookery, it's like understanding a universal culinary language. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about shallow frying, which is one of my favourite methods of cookery. It's so exciting, lots of colour and lots of movement. There's four main types of shallow frying which we're going to do today. One is shallow frying, the other is pan frying, sautéing and stir frying. Now stir frying, one of those fantastic dishes that is so popular on the Australian home menu. There's three main pans I'm going to show you today. Number one is a stainless steel pan. It's really good for sautéing, fantastic for sweating, and also for pan frying things like steaks and fish. The other pan today is a wok. A wok is nice and deep and hollow, and it allows the vegetables to stir really easily. The last one we're going to use today is a cast iron pan. This is fantastic for frying eggs, omelettes and crepes. However, they can stick if they get wet. So before you use it, you need to season it, and I'll show you how to do that now. Firstly, we place the pan on the heat. We get a nice high heat, and then we fill it with salt, just natural table salt. It's going to draw off all of the fats and proteins that are stuck on there, and the salt will become really brown. And you can see there how much brown is coming out of that pan, and that's ultimately going to discolour your food if you don't take it off. At the end of this process, this cast iron pan will be non-stick. The salt's ready to be tipped away. We place that in another vessel, and then to that nice hot pan we have to oil it, and it's really important that the oil is added while it's hot. We allow the oil to smoke, but don't let the oil burn. If you let the oil burn, you're back to stage one. Now that the oil is smoking, we tip that away as well, and then wipe out the pan with some paper toweling. Your pan is ready to cook. With stir frying, you have to use a spoon. So something like this one here would be absolutely perfect. Remember again, very tender meats or tender vegetables. This one's going to be a vegetable only. It's important that we add some oil to the wok. Allow the oil to get hot before you add the vegetables. Otherwise you'll draw the moisture out of them, and that's like sweating the vegetables. I've got some fantastic vegetables here. Broccolini, snow peas, onions and carrots, and also some lovely aromatic things such as garlic, lemongrass and ginger. As you can see, the oil's nice and hot. Don't add the aromatic components first because they'll burn and become bitter. So we start off with the vegetables that are firmer and will withstand a high cooking temperature. So we'll start with some onions and some carrots. Once again, this is stir frying, so we have to stir it. Temperature control is important. Keep the temperature high, but if it does start to burn, you can lower the temperature a little bit. We've got some green, red and yellow capsicums, which are fantastic for colour, some snow peas and a little bit of broccolini. Once your vegetables have started to soften, you can add the aromatic components. So I'll put in the lemongrass, some julienne of ginger, and some little flakes of fresh garlic as well. The handles can get hot, so use a tea towel to hold the edge of the wok. With stir frying, don't forget the vegetables are still meant to be nice and firm, so don't overcook them. You can add some soy sauce, or you could add some stock, or even a little bit of rice wine. All we have to do now is present them on the plate. So there you go, a really easy stir fry, full of colour, easy to do. Before we finish though, I want to show you what we can do with our stainless steel pan. Remember, shallow frying, perfect for a schnitzel in about ½ an inch of hot oil at 180 degrees. We could sweat in this pan as well. To sweat is to remove the moisture from the vegetable without any colour. but today we're going to saute. Sauteing literally means to jump, so the food is jumping in the pan. We have to start with a really high heat and then add a little bit of oil, just enough to lubricate the pan. So now that the oil's nice and hot, we're going to add the vegetables. You should hear them sizzle. That is a perfect sound. Remember, in cooking we have to use all of our senses, our ears, our eyes and our nose. Don't turn down the heat. Let it keep its heat and allow it to sizzle the whole way through the sautéing process. It's also important to continue to move the food, otherwise it will sit stagnant and it will burn. If you want to add some extra flavour to your vegetables, you could add some white wine or even some brandy. However, just be careful, stand back when you do. Perfect sautéing. Remember, it's not what you cook, it's how you cook it.